What is up, guys? My name is Brandon. Today I'm going to be doing a quick detail on the Civic. I was kind of hoping to do like some exterior work today, but it is just way too windy with blowing dust around and stuff. I want to go a little more in depth on the cleaning for the Civic, exterior wise, doing some polish and clay bar and stuff like that. But yeah, with the wind the way it is and just kind of blowing dirt around, I'm trying to remove all of these swirl and scratch marks and stuff. So today is definitely not the day to do that. So we're going to work interior. Let's take a look at the tools we're going to be using today. All right, here are the supplies laid out on this new little cart I got from Amazon. This thing's kind of sick. It rotate, like you can change the angle that the tabletop is at, as well as being able to rotate kind of to these individual panels. Like so. I mean, it's all just made out of cheap plastic, but the frame itself is pretty, reasonably heavy duty. The wheels, cheap plastic. I think it was about $50, but I've been using it as like a computer cart and to kind of make my desk into an L shape. And now the reason I really got it was to, be able to kind of put supplies and tools and whatever on. So I'm loving it so far. But here are the tools: stiff bristle brush for vacuuming, cheap paint brushes for getting inside of cracks and crevices and stuff, de-dusting, and still working through this Jay Leno, as I call it, the Liquid J. We've also got this dust cleaning kit. We'll see if the paint brushes don't get the job done. Of course, a vacuum. Let's do an interior and exterior walk around of the Civic. So here is, this is where most of the damage is. I really just need to get floor mats that work for this thing. I've had this set of floor mats across, I think, like 3 or 4 different vehicles at this point. And they just really do not fit. So we end up with a ton of dirt down there by that little footrest. Nasty stuff. I've been, kind of just like living out of my car a little bit recently, just always on the go. Food, detailing stuff, tools, all that. So we're gonna go through and just really kind of clean this thing up. I'll see if I need to get the Dawn soap involved as well. So where you see that, like needing that is on turn signals, anything that you're touching a lot, like the oils from your hand build up into like a cheese, basically. It's really nasty, but you can use Dawn soap and get in there and kind of get it all pulled off. But I did that fairly recently, so I don't really think it's gonna be necessary to do that. Today I'm just gonna kind of go with those cleaners. We'll see for like the pedals and stuff down there, because I do kind of want to clean those up today. It's a very nice day. I'm very thankful for the nice day in spite of the wind. But I think that this should be, kind of a fun little project for today, in the afternoon, get some sun, keep my mind occupied, and so first thing I'm going to do is, of course, just clean all the trash out of the car, all the food wrappers and just nasty snack stuff and everything. I'm not going to pull the seats up or anything, but just getting trash out of there first is going to be priority number 1, and then we will go on into some more in-depth cleaning. All right, so here is a look around now. So it looks, obviously much better with just the trash pulled out. So I'm gonna pull these floor mats out. There's a little peek-see at the back. We got a little bit of nastiness. Kind of blowing in the carpet, tree droppings, all kinds of stuff, that will be vacuumed out. Man, it's heating up. I'm here for it though. So next up, I think I'll actually clean the floor mats first, because I'm going to clean those with some sort of soapy agent, and so we'll get to that, and then we will move on to dusting, some sort of dusting. So ultimately, I'm not super concerned with getting like all of these individual grooves cleaned. A lot of it really is coming up just from kind of agitating it. It'll like hop up and out and then onto the top, and then I can just wipe all that nasty stuff off. But I just want to kind of, again, I'm gonna at some point ditch these floor mats, so I'm not super concerned with keeping these cleaned. And then during the winter, I'll just have rubber floor mats. So that's kind of the plan for now. Not super crazy on the cleaning for these. Preliminary surface level, or preliminary is not the right word, you know what I mean. And just in that time, it has begun raining, which is cool. All good. We're gonna just push through it. Little rain can't stop us. As Double D said,
summer rains, you can never predict them.
All right, next up, I'm gonna use this dust cleaning gel, and just kind of use this around into these cracks and crevices and stuff, and just see about getting, some of these fine dust particulates pulled up. And then we will move on to a wet clean using some of this detailing spray for the interior. So obviously this stuff just kind of is like silly putty, that you use in the little silly putty tube to make fart sounds and stuff. And the idea is, as it comes into contact with this dust, it just kind of pulls it all up, so it doesn't turn into dust, mud, or whatever it would turn into if you tried to use a wet cleaning. And it doesn't just knock it onto the carpets. If you did like a dry dusting, it should, and kind of similar to how clay bar works, where it pulls up the contaminants and then kind of mixes into the putty, and then you can just kind of roll it around like you would with clay bar. And you can kind of get a little bit farther into like vents and stuff and kind of stuff it in, and then hopefully it just all comes out in one piece. So I've actually never used this before for cleaning, or at least not on interior of a car. But so far, I mean, I'm really liking how it's working. Yeah, here's where it's really nice, is like down into here, just kind of pulling up all this stuff inside of these buttons. Here probably isn't gonna work as well, but like going around, kind of the molding of these dials, it's just really, it's just picking everything up. Super nice. So I dig it. I approve. All right, yeah, man. I mean, getting down into here. Oh, whoops. Forgot to get here. Well, now I can actually demonstrate it. Like up here, it got all of the dusty stuff picked up, all of the little kind of light particulates. There we go. And I mean, it's picking up big stuff, little stuff, this organic something or another, little fuzzy thing. It's like just picking all of it up. This stuff's awesome. All right, I'm gonna go through and kind of look in the back and see if there's anything that needs silly puttied back there, but otherwise, if not, we're gonna go on to some detail spray for the front. All right, the rain has mostly subsided, so I can actually set my tripod up here. I saw a TikTok recently, or saw, short or reel or whatever, where someone said they were having electronic, kind of electrical failures because, mystery revealed, sorry for the spoiler, the person's detailer that they went to was spraying directly onto their control buttons and dials and knobs and stuff. So here's the PSA, just spray onto your rag and not directly onto the surface. It's gonna work about the same. And you don't have to worry as much about any kind of weird electrical failures and stuff like that. So just go that way, go that route, and you'll be better off in the long run, perhaps. All right, here's how we're looking. More stuff keeps just blowing in through the window, which honestly I'm fine with. It's gonna get pretty dirty, just dusty pretty quickly. More of the reason I'm doing this is because of the mud and just coming out of winter and all this nasty stuff. So I'm not too worried about just dust stuff. I always drive with my windows down, so it's kind of a Sisyphean situation. I'm gonna hit this. I don't know if that's gonna pick up on camera. This with the steam cleaner. I'm not gonna fight against it too much. And then hit down here, kind of in this groove, with the steam cleaner and a paintbrush. I keep wanting to call it a toothbrush, but paintbrush. And then over here on this side, I'll quickly wipe down this side. But overall, I mean, it's really not looking too bad in here in terms of like actual nasty, grody, cruddy stuff. So I'm gonna call that mostly good for now. And what was I gonna say? Oh, the back. I'm just gonna kind of leave the back as, you know, like a truck bed, basically. That's basically what this turns into. And it really doesn't look too bad. I never have passengers back here. So that's where that's just where I keep my stuff that I haul. And I will vacuum back there though. Alrighty, well, actually these wind gusts are getting kind of out of control. So I think I'm gonna pick this back up tomorrow, which is fine. I've got day off, so I think that'll be a good use of my time, and I might be able to hit some of the exterior stuff as well. This is just kind of silly to be doing this right now, so I will check back in on the morrow. All right, guys, we are back. Not next day, but I took another day off in between just because it was very cold, dreary, no sun out, and we're gonna pick back up today. Now that it's a little nicer, I am gonna actually end up doing a little bit of exterior work. So for that, my plan is wash, clay bar, polish, which I've never done before, and then wax. So hopefully it ends up looking like a totally different car when I'm all finished up. But next up for right now is going to be vacuuming the interior. Just kind of as a review, here's what we're dealing with. Focus, there we go. So yeah, pretty nasty in the front seats. Obviously not the worst in the world. And then I'm going to see what I can do about kind of getting some of this salt stuff off. Just from, you know, wintertime salt on the feet and whatever. So that's the idea. That's the plan. Now we must execute. Alrighty, here's a look at the driver's side. I didn't agitate just because I was holding my camera. I wanted to get a little montage so I could cut up. I'll go in and vacuum two-handed here in a second. My question is, who is like taking their stock floor mats out of their cars? I just had this realization. I think I've owned 4 cars from dealerships, and then one was kind of one I got from a family member, or my wife's family member. The one that we got from the family member was the only car that had the regular floor mats that came with the car originally. Every other vehicle that I've had has been from a dealership, and none of them have had the stock floor mats, or however you want to say it. So who is like taking these and getting rid of them or selling them or whatever? And it's not like these cars' interiors have been a total wreck. I could see, you know, if it was like totally worn through or whatever and has holes in it like that. Was that the Santa Fe that I worked on, where there's, you know, like a hole worn through the middle of it? Like I could see, but even then it's like, I don't know that I would just get rid of it entirely. I don't know. But yeah, where are all these floor mats going? It pays to be thorough, guys. Look at this. Can you believe this? Alrighty, here's how we're looking up front now. I kind of, okay, that looks that's like a reflection in the thing. That's not all filthy like that. Like all of that looks okay. Something about, it looks terrible on the camera. That brake pedal's all clean. Anyway, I guess I didn't quite realize how excited I was to do exterior stuff, so I'm going to kind of half-ass this interior detail, just finish up vacuuming, and then I want to go on to exterior stuff, because that's like, I don't know, it's starting to warm up, and I want to get it done today before it starts getting super windy. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to half-ass the rest of this interior detail, and then move on to washing the car. All right, here's the result of the half-assed interior detail. Really not too bad. I think for most normal people, this would be, this would be a good kind of Saturday, Sunday, whatever weekend project. And this would be good for most people. For me this week, this is going to be good enough. I can kind of continue on. It's really just that vacuuming. If you stay up on that, everything else is, in my opinion, kind of easy to keep up on. But like I said, I'm just very excited to move on to the exterior detail. So that's what we're going to do next. And then, at some point I'll break out the steamer for in here. Here's a look at the back. Not too bad. But like I said, I kind of treat the back as like a truck bed, so there's always stuff back there anyway. So, yeah, next up, let us wash the car. All right, I gotta pee like crazy, so I'm gonna try to get through this. So here is the process. We're gonna go through with this Blackmagic Wet Shine to clean the car. I'm gonna use this mitt with the grit guard down here. I've got my power washer kind of halfway set up. Next, after that, is gonna be clay bar, which means I need to get a bottle of dish soap as well. Then we're going to go Scratch X and try to remove some of these swirl marks that I'm sure are very apparent. Looking at the car, it's pretty terrible. Scratch X followed by, then I guess I'll do either Trim Restore or, I need to grab my car wax as well. So we'll get that Carnauba wax, and then hit it with some Rain-X, and then, or in some order similar to that. We'll see as the video goes on. Like I said, I have to pee real bad, so I'll BRB. All right, initial wash has been done, so now we're gonna go in with our little microfiber mitt and hand wash the whole thing using some Dawn soap just to really degrease everything, get any old waxes or sealants or whatever off of it, road oil, stuff like that. I think this is the first time I've washed this car since owning it, so yeah, really, this is a fun process. I like it. So let's continue on. Second rinse is done, time for clay bar. Way to start with your clay bar is dropping it on the gravel. This clay bar is like weirdly less malleable. This is Meguiar's. I don't know, it doesn't feel like it's doing much. Like when I've used clay bar in the past, and I've driven this car for, even if it did have this done right before, I've driven this car for close to like 4,000 miles, and it just doesn't, it's not getting that texture that I'm used to feeling, kind of like you can feel it picking the stuff up. So I don't know if I'm rocking with this clay bar so much, but yeah, we're gonna carry on. Kind of weird. All right, final rinse with the power washer is done. Here's a little walk around. I'm gonna let this dry off. I don't know if this will show up on camera, but you can actually see the water vapor from the sun, it's like evaporating so fast that it looks like it's steaming. So we're gonna let this dry up and then go on with polish and then end with the wax. All right, first pass. I don't know, it's maybe a little bit better. Just kind of hoping for even better. There we go, we can see the sun. I might try another pass. I don't know. I'm a little disappointed with this. Okay, so it is absolutely doing something. This was where I took my Civic badge off, and now I can barely see, like, only because I'm looking for it. So I don't know, it's kind of working. Might
There's 100 right now in existence, and the people that bought them for X amount of dollars.
I might try out the drill attachment. Here we go, the polishing pad. But this is just a cheap one. You know, this isn't like a nice like orbital rig or anything. But I don't know, I feel like I'm probably not using enough of it, but like I don't want to burn through the clear coat and you know, expose the raw paint to the world. But I don't know, I'm going to continue on and then just kind of check for a before and after. I'll probably try that out on a spot that's not super exposed, just for laughs, maybe like by the rear fender, down toward the ground or something, and just try it out and see what happens. But yeah, it's kind of working, but maybe not as well as I thought. And it's probably it's the Meguiar's Scratch X, so it might not be the right product for what I'm trying to do. I'm just mostly trying to get those swirls out. But yeah, so we'll continue on, and then I'll check in here in a little bit. All right. Not gonna lie, kind of biffed the car up using this, which I kind of expected to happen. Let me show you a little bit what I'm talking about here. So I did like this upper part, not on this one, but on this one, and it has left like a streak of circular buff marks, kind of polish marks. I don't know how well it's showing up. Let me go over to this side, where this just kind of looks like generic scratches. You can really clearly see it there. Now, when we come over to this side, you can see like the circular polish marks, real bad. And up here as well. On the trunk, I did not. So I think we're gonna put the Scratch X on pause and then like actually do some actual good polishing, and hopefully I don't think the paint is too far gone or anything, but yeah, kind of a bit of a fail with this drill buffer here. So, you know, you live and learn. I kind of knew that this was definitely a possibility, but this is like the first thing I've kind of messed up. Usually, like, you know, you mess something up, and it's not like a, you know, broken or anything, but it is messed up. So I definitely need to invest in, some sort of like an orbital polisher, and then just do it the right way. I don't think this is the exact correct product for what I'm wanting to do. To kind of cap off just the review experience, I'm going to try it on the hood as well, using one of those little pads, you know, an applicator pad, and do it the right way without the drill, and just kind of see what it does to the hood. Let's come over and look at the hood real quick. And then I think I'm going to be done with the polishing, and then go on just to just wax the car, and hopefully that maybe evens out some of those clear coat scratches. I'm doubtful that it will, but yeah, I think you know, this was definitely a valuable lesson for today. But yeah, not too heartbroken over it. It's not like it doesn't look worse necessarily. It's just now it's got these very clearly circular scratches as opposed to, you know, kind of generic, like someone took a cloth and tried to rub it while there was dirt on it. All right, here is, I don't know how that's gonna show up, but I can see like the exact line where I've stopped, just from the left half to the right half. I don't know if that's gonna pick up or not. Here's another kind of fail. I don't know if they're like these little tiny cracks in the paint that now that I'm looking for them, I can see on this side. Here, if you can't see them, let me go to the side that I did polish. And now all of these are visible. And when I go to do this side, all of those will be visible as well. Man. So over here on the right side, they're not visible. Really, I mean, I can kind of pick them out where they're gonna show up, but here on this left side. So I guess let's even it out so that it all looks the same. Man, that sucks. All right, here is the damage. So I need to do some research. I'm sure there's a name for this type of paint damage. But I'm gonna throw some wax on the car. I don't know if that's the best thing to do right now, and we'll just see kind of what it says. Yeah, all right, well, it is what it is. All right, let's do a final walk around.